The game of football isn't just about what happens. It's about the decisions behind it, what you choose to do, what you hesitate on, what you trust, and what you don't. Today, we're getting into the decisions you don't see. Why football teaches discipline, how one adjustment can change everything, and why some players can react while others are still thinking. My name is Christian Troupe. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Trust Troupey. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to episode 10. We're 10 episode in, 10 weeks into this glorious podcast. We're ever growing very slowly, but we're growing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for tuning in every week. For those of you that do tune in every week, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on YouTube, we're slowly growing every week. I'm very excited. A lot of things planned, a lot of things coming, a lot of things are supposed to happen soon, and I'm very excited. But like I said, little plug-in. Go follow, go subscribe to the YouTube at Troupey Whoopie. Go follow the podcast page on TikTok, Trust Troupey Podcast. And then on top of that, go support, go follow, go rate 5 stars the podcast itself on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, the Trust Troupey Podcast as well. We have a big episode in store. We have a lot of things we want to talk about. We have a lot of things we want to get into. Starting with something that I think a lot of people that don't watch football need to kind of understand. The first segment I want to talk about is the decisions you don't see in football. The things that you don't, you know what I'm saying? The things that people think are easy to determine or are easy to, I guess, gloss over because of the fact that it seems so simplified on the broadcast. It seems so simplified in the game of football, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I think one of those things is like, whenever you see like a quarterback and receiver aren't connected on something, and you'll see the quarterback launch it out of bounds, or he thought the receiver was supposed to go deep. That's all about timing. That's all about anything else that goes on within that play. Because what a lot of people don't understand is timing is the quintessential part of a quarterback-receiver relationship. Okay, without timing, there is no routes. Now, a lot of the times we see broken plays, and broken plays is when you have the quarterback running around and stuff. And yes, those plays are important to be good at, but timing is everything. Snap the ball, 1-2 hut, 1-2 throw. Like, it's timing. You have to know the arm angle to throw the ball at. The receiver has to get off the line enough time so the quarterback can put it in the area for him to go get it. It's all about timing. But again, people who don't play football aren't going to understand that. They're only going to understand that the quarterback didn't throw the ball straight to the receiver, so he's ass, right? That's ultimately what we end up seeing, right? Or, again, quarterback will launch it deep and the receiver runs short. And then everybody's like, oh, where were you throwing? It was just like, okay, again, it's clearly a miscommunication there. Because sometimes it's about choice. It's about, and what we're going to talk about today is the fact that not one particular thing is a play in football. For example, there are plays in football where you have a multiple go based off of the receiver's leverage, based off of whatever, based off of the DB's leverage, based off of all of that. There are plays like that where there's not one set play. It's all about what that DB does, what that safety does. If you see that safety go, you have to bend it a little bit. It's all about reacting and moving within the game of football, right? But again, people simplify it. People try to act like it's more simple than what it actually is, right? Like, you know how many times I get on how many times I watch games with people and they'll be like, oh, he's trash. He threw it deep and he wasn't supposed to throw it deep. I was like, well, again, they were probably taught in practice if you feel like the cornerback is on your hip, go. You ever heard of even and leaving? Yeah. If the cornerback's on your hip, you go, I'm throwing it deep, you're going to go make a play, right? But sometimes the receiver isn't feeling that the cornerback is on his hip. He feels like he's too far ahead, so he breaks it off to try to get a smaller gain or whatever because of the fact that he couldn't beat him over top. But you don't see that, you know what I'm saying? Another like aspect we see this in is like leverage when it comes to DBs and everything. What a lot of people don't understand is that a DB's leverage has so much to do with how the play is going or whatever, right? Or a receiver's leverage tells the DB how to play. Or we talk about match coverage on here all the time. The fact that a play can be man and zone at the same time and switch at any given time. But again, it's too complicated for people to understand. So they call it, oh, he's trash. Why didn't he do this? You can play something called match coverage where you can play man and zone in the same play. And depending on that number 2 receiver, depending on that slot receiver, depending on where the number 1 receiver ends up going, will determine what coverage they're in. I played this all throughout college, match coverage. But again, you see somebody get beat over the top and you automatically blame the corner. But it's just not that simple. It's not simple enough to make it seem like it's this, that, or the other, right? But like you see it all the time with O-linemen. O-linemen, they have zone responsibilities too. They have responsibilities when it comes to blitz pickups. Sometimes defenses run loop blitzes, and it is up to the guard or the tackle to help on the loop blitz. And sometimes that linebacker gets super skinny through that hole, and that guard doesn't see him coming through. But again, we blame the O-line. Oh, the O-line's so trash. It's like, oh, there's so much more that went on within that play that wasn't necessarily on the O-line. It was more so a scheme thing. It was more so, hey, I'm taught that if I see somebody on the center's right shoulder, I have to chip him and then get to my assignment. So he's worried about what he's supposed to do first, and then something else comes through. Or if you see like a DB blitz, right? You see like a DB blitz. Depending on how wide the DB is coming, that tackle isn't always going to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how wide that DB is coming from the outside or the corner blitz or whatever, the tackle isn't going to always see it. But it's always that tackle is trash. Why didn't he see him? Can we stop trying to simplify the game of football? Let's get this straight here. Stop trying to simplify the game of football, because even the fuck-ups, even the mess-ups in football have explanations to why they're mess-ups, right? Even the mess-ups in football have explanations to why they messed up. Nothing is ever, he just sucks, okay? Now, I can't say nothing. There are players out there that do things that are just blatantly dookie. But nothing, there is never a play that can't be explained. Let's take a break for a second. Let's do it. Okay, but again, stop trying to simplify football. Every play can be explained by a specific way of a scheme or technique or something. Football is just not simply put something that can be explained in 2 words of he's ass, right? There's explanations for everything. There's explanations and reasons for why this play went wrong. There's explanations and reasons and scheme and fit for why this didn't go well. We don't have to simplify it. Just because you don't understand it does not mean it's a simple concept. You know what I mean? But you see that a lot. I'm trying to tell you. I talk often about how annoying fans can get. I talk about it often because I'm not saying that fans should not be allowed to, I guess, conversate about football. I'm not saying that. But it irritates me when fans simplify something that football players know isn't simple, right? Especially the ones that didn't play football. If you play football and you're trying to simplify something, it's because you probably played it again. But even then, you know how complex it is. Why are you trying to simplify it, right? That's my thing. I don't know. That's my thing. But at the same time, the average fan would rather call somebody ass than really try to understand why the play went wrong. But that's all we go through as athletes is we're asked because this play didn't happen. We're asked because this should have happened and it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, we could talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, football is as much about what you don't want to do as what you do want to do, right? And it sounds complex, but at the same time, when we're talking about football and how people are messing up on plays, they don't want to mess up. It's not their intention to mess up, because you got to realize football is a reactionary sport. Everything is dependent on how the other team is doing things, right? Your game plan is dependent on how the other team is doing things. Now, there are teams out there that can run their shit to a T, and they have run it so many times that it does not matter what look they see, they're going to dominate, right? Teams that are successful running the football will run the football against anybody because it doesn't matter the D-line or anything because they're so indoctrinated to how good they are up front and how good they can run the football, right? They always say defense travels because, again, a great defense can see any look and adjust. A great defense can see any formation, any play, any wrinkle and adjust. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yes, there are 100% football teams that can see anything and can have anything ready. Like, for example, in college, my defense could see any look and it would not confuse us. Because one, we adjust on the fly. Two, we have rules for everything. Even if there is a condensed split receiver, but they're in a bunch, we have a specific coverage we're running out of that no matter what the bunch looks like. If they are running a stack, we know exactly what we're going to do about that. If they're doing bubble screen on us every play, we know exactly how we were going to defend that. Great football teams adjust to everything on the fly. Great football teams can see any look, any defensive front, any offensive line front, anything you want to see, and adjust to it on the fly, and adjust to it within the next 2 plays are done. Another example, in college, we played this team. We watched film all week on them, and they run a specific spread package, whatever, we're ready. In the game, they come out in a triple option, 3 running backs in the backfield. It did not matter. It did not confuse us, none of that, because we have rules for everything. We had rules for everything. We just had to change everything up just a little bit. With the 3 running backs, they run out of the backfield as receivers. So the corners are going to take the 2 outside guys while the linebackers are triggering on quarterback in the dive, right? Like, we were able to adjust on the fly, and that's what made us great. But again, you don't see that within the broadcast. You see it afterwards because you're like, oh, snap, wait a minute. This team has never seen this look before. But great teams don't need that. Great teams don't need an explanation. It takes one drive, maybe a couple plays to realize, okay, cool, I got it. We're good. You know what I'm saying? Defense used to come back to the sideline. Hey, this, that, and the third, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. All we have to do, cornerbacks take this, that, and it was fixed, right? Great teams adjust on the fly. And it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see. The Seahawks in the Super Bowl, Patriots came out, spread package, you know exactly what they were going to do. You know what the Seahawks did in the second drive of the game? Hey, Drake May's uncomfortable back there in the pocket. You could tell he's nervous. We're sending the simulated pressure. We're going to confuse the hell out of him. We're also going to bring the cornerback off the edge. It was textbook. It was amazing. Great defenses, great offenses adjust on the fly. They adjust on the fly. Like, oh my God, it's so amazing to see a offense adjust to what the defense is giving them based off of one look, based off of one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's so amazing. Like, dead ass. Oh my God. But still, at the same time, we also have to realize that it's only specific teams can do this. Only good teams, only great teams to do this. Not everybody is a great team. But nothing will ever be simplified in football. Nothing will ever be as simple as what it seems. There's always an explanation for something. There's always an explanation for something. But that was kind of like 2 segments into one. You know what I'm saying? Let's get on to the next segment. This is one of my favorite segments I want to talk about because it's so important for people to understand this. Football teaches you so much more in life than just sports, than just competitiveness. Football teaches you discipline. Football teaches you everything, almost everything in life that you need to know and understand and be good at. Because realistically, what most people are going to see football as is this uber athletic sport that is super physical and that people get hurt in a lot. But it's the lessons you learn within football that teach you to be great, that teach you to be a great man in life, that teach you to be a great woman in life, whoever studies football. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, it's just going to teach you real life things, right? For example, I think the first thing that football teaches you is to do your job and to trust everybody else around you. And it's hard to do that in real life because in real life, you have people that you just simply don't like or trust, right? But it's the same thing for football. Do you think there are people out there that like every single teammate they play with? No, I can guarantee you there's too many people on a football team for everybody to like everybody. But you have to learn to work with them, and you have to learn to trust them to do their job, right? You cannot be a corner and be a successful corner without trusting that the D-line is going to get you some time. You know what I'm saying? That the D-line is going to get home. You cannot be a linebacker and be a great linebacker without trusting that your safety is going to fill that hole when you're blitzing, right? You cannot be a D-lineman, a great D-lineman, and not trust that your linebacker is going to scrape over when you force him outside. Football teaches you not only trust, but it teaches you to do your job over everything else. It teaches you not to be Superman. Because oftentimes when we see somebody messing something up, we want to go help them out. Do your job first. Do your job first, right? But it also teaches you like emotion regulation. It teaches you to understand that you cannot get butthurt or shitty about everything because there's gonna be bad things that happen, right? This is one of the things I've learned. One of the things that football truly taught me is bad things are gonna happen in a game. Expect bad things to happen. How are you going to respond to those bad things? My coach used to tell me every day, but tell us every day before a game, hey, we're a great football team, but so are they. They're going to score. They're going to move the football. They're going to do things. How will you respond to stop them the next time? They're gonna get a long ball on us, okay? They're going to do all of that. They're going to complete passes. They're going to get the crowd hype. They're going to do all of that. How will you respond? And that was, I carry that with me every single day because it's so real. You're going to go into work one day and your boss is going to be tripping. You're going to do things in class one day and you're going to fail a test. You're going to not do well on a test. You're going to fail a quiz. You're going to forget to do your homework. How do you respond after that? How do you respond after all of that? How do you go about life after the bad things happen? Do you sulk? Do you sit there and put your head down and pout? Do you do all of these things? Or do you get your bootstraps back up, fix yourself, and say, hey, I got a chance to redo it. I have a chance to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that's the difference between good and great football players. It ain't just the ability. It's the mentality. We talk about mentality a lot because mentality is so important in football. It's so important. You are not a great football player without your mentality. But it's all about how can I get better? How can I forget this play? How can I, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, looking back over the play is important to understand where you went wrong. But how do you go about it in a way of understanding that this does not define what I am, who I am, and how I'm going to be as a football player? The moment you get that, the moment you see that, the moment you genuinely look at that, oh my God, you're golden. You're golden. You are golden. You're golden. Because, like I said, football, it just teaches you. It teaches you how to like regulate life. Like there is not a thing in life that I cannot relate back to what football taught me, what a coach taught me, what my teammates taught me. You know what I'm saying? There's not a thing in life that, because I quite frankly, I think if more people treated like life like a sport, they'd be more successful. They'd be more driven, you know what I'm saying, oriented, all of that, you know what I'm saying? I quite frankly apply football to everything I do in life. Hey, we got a big game this week, big test. I have to prepare by watching film all week to make sure that this test goes well, you know what I'm saying? I got to study all week. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything I do in life can 100% be equated back to football. And it's not to say that I am nothing without football, but football has taught me a lot of lessons. The lessons I learned through family through football, the lessons I learned about like everything through football. You know what I'm saying? The lessons I learned about the attention to details. That's another thing about football that teaches you discipline. Paying attention to the details. You're never going to get better if you cannot critique yourself. That's another thing I learned about football. You're never going to get better by envying somebody that you feel is doing better than you. That's another thing I learned through football. So, oh my God. And I'm going to talk about that in depth too, because it's hard sometimes, but there's so many things I can literally relate back to football. Like, as much as football is a sport and I'm done playing the sport, yes, I'm done. No more. But as much as I love football and I love the sport, there's so much that it taught me, so much to the point that I want to go into talking about football for a living. I'm already in the process of doing that, right? But it's so many life lessons you learn from this. There's so many life lessons you're gonna learn from it. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things you're going to learn from your coaches, from your teammates, from your assistant coaches, from your athletic directors, whatever, that just teaches you so much about life. Football quite literally can correlate to anything in life. You just lost the game. You feel down in the depths. Your season is over with. You feel down in the depths. How do you respond, right? How do you get better for next season? You just lost your job, right? How do you pick yourself back up and go get another job? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, that job is not going to sympathize you. It's not going to do none of that. You have to go find it again. The hard work that you do in the off season isn't going to sit there and wait on you. No, you got to go attack it. You got to go get back in shape. You got to go get your physique back. You got to go eat right. You got to go get in the field work and work on the things you sucked at. Work on the things you need to get better at. All of that. These things matter. They matter, people. They matter, right? They 100% matter, right? But another topic I want to talk about, especially in football, when it comes to teammates, when it comes to a whole bunch of different things, is the idea that it's easy to hate your teammates. It's easy to hate the people that is playing over you. I want to talk about why that's important. Okay, like I said, I want to talk about how important it is to use the teammates that are in front of you, use the teammates that are getting more playing time than you, getting more opportunities than you, as a resource and not fuel, right? They should be fuel. Yes, I want to beat him out. But at the same time, it's so easy to go about the game in a way of, oh, he's playing over me, let me talk shit about him, right? It's so easy to do it. It's so easy to visualize it. It's so easy to genuinely look at it from a standpoint of wait a minute, like, we're still on the same team at the end of the day. I do want him to be successful. It's so hard. It's so hard not to get in that hating mindset, especially when you feel like you should be playing, right? Especially when you feel like you should be playing. Like, oh my God, there have been multiple times I've talked with so many teammates. I've had multiple teammates throughout the years, and they come and talk to me. Hey, bro, I don't know what coach is doing. It's easy to resent a coach because of that. It's easy to resent the game because of it. But it's so crucial that you use it as a way of self-reflection, right? Because as much as you feel like you shouldn't be playing, there's always a reason why there's always a underlying reason why you probably shouldn't be playing, right? And you got to go fix those, right? You got to go get to it, get after it, right? For example, back in high school, I had a younger teammate of mine. I think I'm a senior or a junior. I think I'm a senior, right? I personally thought he should have been playing over somebody else, but I could see and understand why he was not playing. He was a little immature. He was this, that, and the third. But that didn't stop anything. It made him work harder, and it made him looking at me and the other guy on the other side and just mastering the craft. He ended up being a better He ended up being a better DB than me, just because of the fact that he was able to truly look at it from a standpoint of, okay, I have things to work on. I have things I need. Instead of hating on the people that are in front of me, instead of talking shit about the people that are in front of me, instead of trying to make an excuse, hey, the coach's favorite, what can I do to get better? What can I do to genuinely make sure that I'm on the field? Leave no doubt, right? These words will always stick with me, but a senior when I was a freshman in college, still one of my good friends to this day, mentor of mine, 100%. He wrote me a letter at the beginning of the season, before I even knew him. And he said, I've seen your tape, you're talented, but for people like me and you, for people that we got to prove ourselves, you have to leave no doubt. You have to leave no doubt. You have to go out there and show the coach that you need to be on the field. Not that you should be, that you need to be on the field. You need to go out there and show the coach that without you on the field, things will crumble. You need to go out there and make plays and leave no doubt. You need to show them that they are making a grave mistake by not putting you out there. That's how you got to approach it. You have to go out there and bust people's ass. You have to go out there and genuinely go out there and show out. You have to show the coach that you are the one and the only. For all of my young college athletes out there, for all of my young high school athletes out there who feels like they should be getting more playing time, who's not getting enough playing time, you need to leave no doubt. You need to go out there and show the coach why you need to be on the field. Stop making excuses for everything else, okay? It's easy to make an excuse. Either say, oh, he's only on the field because he likes him more. Oh, he's only on the field because he's a little bit taller. So what? Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt. Give them a reason. Give them every reason to put you on the field. Don't give them an excuse to not put you on the field, right? Leave no doubt. None. Zilch. Zero. Leave zero doubt. Because I promise you, the moment they have some doubt, the moment you will be upset with your playing time. Leave absolutely no doubt. Don't put it into the coach's hands. Put it in your hands. Don't put it into somebody else's hands to determine if you're going to play or not. Put it in your hands. You have the opportunity to go out there and show up and show out against people, right? You have the opportunity to go out there and show up and show out against everybody, right? Leave no doubt. Leave none. And I'm saying it over and over and over again because I want people to truly understand how important it is. The moment you stop making excuses for yourself and for everybody else around you and for everybody and why the reason why this is happening and this isn't happening, leave no doubt. Leave none. Leave zero doubt. Because at the end of the day, what's keeping you off the field, it could be something petty, but at the end of the day, it's production. At the end of the day, it's production. Production is what gets you on the field. I had to learn this a hard way from one of my defensive coordinators because he valued production. So if you were producing in practice, you were going to play. But if you were out there and you were wishy-washy in practice, you weren't going to play. Now, at the time, I'm not going to lie. I looked at this and I was like, bro, I should be playing. Why am I not on the field? And it was easy to say that. It was easy to make every excuse in the book. But then the moment I realized I have to go out there and I have to show and make sure coaches know that I am the truth, that I am the guy I talk about, that I am the reason why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I need to be on the field. If you're not putting me on the field, you're messing up. The moment I realized that is when I started flourishing in college. Because again, you go to a college program, everybody was that guy in their team. You go to a college program, everybody was that guy on their high school football team. Everybody was that guy. Everybody was him. Everybody was number one, number two on their high school team. Everybody had stats. Everybody had numbers, whatever. And this is on all levels, D1, D2, D3. Everybody was that guy. That simple. Everybody had that one season where they went off or whatever. Now you have to separate yourself when you get there. Leave no doubt. Don't give them a reason to not put you on the field. Give them a reason to say he has to be on the field. He has to be. But yeah, all my young athletes out there, leave no doubt. 100% go balls to the wall. Show the coach that you need to be on the field. Don't show the coach that there's a reason not to put you on the field, right? It's for everything, right? This is for absolutely everything. But I kind of want to talk about another segment. Let's get into another segment. Knowing versus reacting in football. Because I guarantee you the game will slow down so much for you once you get into a state of knowing versus reacting, right? Because you can know everything in every play that's coming, but you aren't reacting to it. And you can react to everything that's coming, but not know what the hell is coming next, right? They both coincide with each other, but you have to do both simultaneously, right? Because knowing a lot about what the play is going on, it causes you to overthink. As somebody who was a corner and I had to react, sometimes it's easy to overthink within a play, right? It's easy to overthink of, oh, what if he does this, that, and the third? But the moment you allow your body to move, it's like ultra instinct. It's like ultra instinct in football. I mean, it's like ultra instinct in DBZ. Shout out to all my anime fans. Ultra instinct was the mind, the body, and the soul reacting on its own. There's no thoughts. It's all reaction to what you see, right? Whenever Jiren threw a punch, Goku was reacting to the punch as it was happening, right? It's the same thing in football. Because the moment that you know so much that you can react as fast as you can is the moment you'll be the best football player you ever will be in your life. I promise you. The moment you see the game for how slow it is and you see the game for what it is, oh my God, I swear to God, you are going to go out there and you're going to go out there and kill it, right? For all my DBs out there, right? There's going to come a time in your career, whether it's high school, college, pros, whatever, where you hit flow state, where everything you are seeing, it's like they're moving in slow motion, right? It's like they're moving in slow motion and nobody's there but you and him, and you don't see nothing but you and the guy you're locked in on. And he's moving in slow motion. You're like, oh, I know what's coming. Oh my God. I had this a couple times in my senior year of college, right? Senior year of high school and college, I would say those were my peaks of my football. You know what I'm saying? Of my football prowess. You know what I'm saying? My freshman, sophomore, junior year in college were cool. They were decent, but they weren't. I was nowhere near the level I was than what I was in my senior year. Same thing with high school. In high school, my freshman, sophomore, junior year, I was good. I was talented. But my senior year is why I put it all together. Is why I put everything together, right? This is where I put everything together, right? My God, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, couple games in my senior year. Wittenberg, my senior year. I swear to God, they had one of the most talented receiving corps in the conference. Bunch of speedy guys. They ran routes very crisply, whatever. I cooked that game. I didn't see anything that they ran, anything that they were running. It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Man, it was towards the end of the game. One of the better receivers, he ran a post route on me. But I seen from the start of the jump, I'm an off man. I'm backpedaling. I see him drop his weight down to try to cut for the post. I was there already. My body moved for me. In the moment, and that's not just about me understanding and knowing game of football. That's a culmination of me studying the game. That's a culmination of me repping it in practice. That's a culmination of me seeing it in real life reps. That's a culmination of me knowing how he was going to run the route. That's a culmination of me knowing everything. So now my body was able to react. It's crucial. It's so crucial. It's so crucial. The moment you get to a point where you can react to everything on the fly is the moment you will be the best football player possible. And I'm not even just talking about from a DB standpoint. DB is just the easiest standpoint for me to talk about because I played DB. Receiver. The moment you can realize the DB's alignment and you know the defense that they're in and the coverage that they're going to play, how easy for you will it be to go out there and react accordingly and just cook. Just go out there and do what you do, right? To go out there and rocker step. Wait a minute. I see here's an outside leverage. Hold on. Let me give him my outside cut step first and then O-lineman too. The moment you know what moves that DN is going to do for you, that kick step becomes easier. Wait, kick step. Wait, ghost rush coming. Oop, I got him. It makes it so much easier. That's why you have to prepare accordingly, because you can know as much as possible. But if you are not repping it in game, if you are not repping it in practice and you are not taking those reps in practice seriously and you're not taking those things in practice seriously, then guess what? You are nothing, you will be nothing, and you will be just mediocre. If you're okay with being mediocre, that's fine. I know all of y'all aren't okay with being no mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Just understand. Listen to me here. The more you know, the faster you will react. The more you see the play, the better you will be able to react. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I'm trying to tell it. Trying to tell it like it is, man. But understand that you will get to a point in your football career where you feel like you are at your peak. You will feel like you see everything for what it is, and you can read and react to things as fast as humanly possible. The moment you are able to move at full speed while still thinking at full speed, while still being able to make plays, is when you will be the peak of your football prowess. Now, that takes people to different places. Sometimes that takes people to D2. Sometimes that takes people to NAIA. Sometimes that takes people to the pros. You never know. But you're going to get to a point in your football career where everything is second nature to you, that you seeing that route is nothing, that you seeing that release is nothing, that you getting off the line is nothing, that you seeing that DN come around the edge is nothing, that you seeing that post being ran, your arm angle is already there. Your arm's already reacting. You know what I'm saying? You see that hole open up, you're hitting it hard off of second nature. I promise y'all, I promise you, you're going to get to that point. I promise you, you're going to get to that point. I promise you, you're going to get to that point. Last couple clips. I'm not going to go super long today. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy today. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about this because I think it's funny. What's the most disrespectful thing that can happen to a football player in a football game? What's the most disrespectful thing that can happen to a football player within a football game? Because realistically, I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's getting mossed, but that's me as a DB. You know what I'm saying? What's the most... because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you ever see a corner that just isn't having a good game, so you see the offense clearly understands that corner isn't having a good game, so they start attacking him. I think that's the most disrespect. That's some of the most disrespectful shit ever. Oh my God. I have a funny story. One of my teammates, I got hurt my senior year. My senior year, I messed up my shoulder. I was out for a game. Against this team named Cathedral, right? And oh my God, they was playing the game. First play of the game, my boy, he got, my boy, they seen I was out. They threw a post on him first play of the game. Blur. Oh my God, cool. They was attacking him all game. They had a touchdown score. He had a touchdown score on him. But like you can just tell when like teams see a weak link. You know what I mean? And I'm not calling him a weak link because he ended up being a better corner than me in high school, I believe. But like you can tell when teams are like, yeah, we have our plan here. And as somebody who's been that before, I've 100% been that weak link before. I've 100% done it. Sophomore year of high school, I'm starting on varsity. We played against Southport. Man, I swear to God, I had like 7 deep balls caught on me that game. I couldn't get it together. But it's disrespectful as hell. I'm not even lying. I ain't gonna lie. Or another one, just from a DB standpoint, when teams are clearly trying to isolate the corner and make him tackle one-on-one. Oh my God. Oh my God. That shit is hilarious to me. Because obviously if there's a corner out there that can tackle, okay, he's gonna make that tackle every time. But there are some corners out there that ain't gonna make that damn tackle, and they're gonna keep isolating him. They're gonna run outside zone every chance they get. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I had to ask that. What's the most disrespectful thing that can happen to you in a football game? Because I'm saying it's either getting mossed, or it's a team isolating you, or it's or it's somebody just blatantly disrespecting you on the field. You know what I'm saying? Blatantly just talking shit to you, knowing you're not going to do anything back to them. You know what I mean? But oh my God. But next segment, last segment of the day. Viewer questions. I have like 2 or 3 that I have picked out because I think they're really good ones. Somebody asked me, what's the quickest way to lose a coach's trust in football? I think the quickest way to lose a coach's trust is to... Wait, this is a great question. The quickest way to lose a coach's trust is to not pay attention when other people have fucked up. They harp on that a lot because, again, there are players out there, there are people out there that will 100%... that'll fuck up something, and if you're behind them and you go up there and you step up and you fuck up too, coaches will be mad as hell about that shit. I feel like that's one of the quicker ways to lose a coach's trust, especially from the standpoint of he was showing somebody else, why weren't you paying attention? Obviously not paying attention, obviously going out there and doing your own thing, not trusting your teammates, not trusting him, not trusting the scheme. Those are ways to lose your coach's trust. But not paying attention, I feel like, is a huge way for somebody to be like, shit. Or like just not applying the feedback he's giving you. If a coach tells you, hey, you need to get better at press coverage, you need to get better at moving your feet, right? And you continue to go out there and do the same thing that he's telling you not to do, then your coach at one point will be like, okay, he's unfixable, right? You never want to become that player that is deemed unfixable. You never want to become that player that is deemed uncoachable. You never want to become that player that is deemed unwatchable, you know what I'm saying? All of that. I've seen it happen in real life. I've seen coaches give up on players in real time. You know what I mean? Never want to become that player. You never want to become that, right? And then what's something fans misunderstand about effort? Effort is subjective because you can see something happen in a play where it looks like somebody gave up, but then that can be explained later. Effort is, for the most part, is bare bones in football. You're either going 100% or you're not, right? But at the same time, there are things that happens to where he has to slow down his leverage. He has to read things a little bit slower. He has to do this in order for the play to play out for him. You know what I mean? But people will mistake that for effort. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I hope that made a lot of sense. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go super long today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure you guys are getting consistent episodes. But 100%, thank you guys for coming. That's the end of episode 10. 10 episodes in, I'm very excited. Moving forward ever so surely, we're moving forward, you know what I'm saying? But we're trying to grow, a little plug a little bit. Go follow the TikTok page, both of them. My main TikTok page, Troupey Whoopie. Go follow the YouTube page, Troupey Whoopie. And then at the same time, go follow the podcast page, the Trust Troupey Podcast, slowly growing on there. Go follow and subscribe on the Apple Podcast and the Spotify at your Trust Troupey Podcast as well. I'm excited for a lot of things coming. I'm excited for a lot of things that are going to come in the future. But, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to love me. You ain't got to like me. You can hate me for all I care. But you can trust me. I hope you guys have a great day.